Hey guys, this is Brian from Intuitia. If you want to take your LEGO builds from basic to advanced, from this to this, you need to know all about LEGO building techniques. I decided to make this series of videos or tutorials to cover building techniques in a comprehensive and coherent manner, from the basics, the dimensions, and on to advanced building techniques, and eventually functions, play features, and mechanical principles from official LEGO sets that you can incorporate in your own builds. And for this first video, I want to start with something that I've not seen explained before: triangles, or what you can think of as building diagonally. Of all of the modular building sets that LEGO has released, the Boutique Hotel has something very special about it, that the entire build has this unexpected angular shape, and there's a whole section built diagonally across the grid while also aligning perfectly. So the question is, when and how can I create these diagonal triangular shapes that line up with the grid perfectly? Now, the answer has something to do with Pythagorean triplets. So without getting into the details, some of the basic Pythagorean triplets are 3, 4, and 5, as well as 5, 12, and 13, and any common multiples of these such as 6, 8, 10, as well as 9, 12, 15. In the context of LEGO building techniques, the higher number of each triplet is the key. That is 5, 10, 13, and 15. And the other two numbers of each triplet tell you how many modules down and across you need to cover from stud to stud. There is just one final trick. These numbers tell you the distances between the studs on the two ends, so you need to add 1 to each number to get the total number of modules. That is, instead of 3, 4, and 5, for example, think of that as 4, 5, and 6. So what we're saying is that a LEGO plate such as this one of 6 modules across can swivel down 4 studs and across 5 studs and line up perfectly. And that's exactly what you see in this case. You can think of this as creating triangles or building diagonally. And this is not about tolerances, this is actually a mathematics principle. And you can see that the same principle will apply with beams as well. So beam of 6 modules will also match up 4 studs down, 5 studs across. Here is a small Technic assembly to show you how you might apply this with just Technic beams. As long as it's 4 modules down and 5 modules across, you will be able to connect any kind of beam with 6 modules in length. So if we take our original triplet 3, 4, and 5 and we double each number to give us 6, 8, and 10, and then we add 1 module to give us 7, 9, and 11, that will give us again another possible construction. So putting that to the test, I have a Technic beam here that is 11 modules long. If I swivel that down 7 studs and across 9 studs, that lines up perfectly. Because this proportion was based on the original triplet, it will have the same basic angle in either case. Let's now try another triplet. The second of our Pythagorean triplets was 5, 12, and 13. Again, we just add 1 module to get 6, 13, and 14. So here I have a construction with 14 studs across. So if I swivel this now down by 6 studs and across 13 studs, we can see again that lines up perfectly. And in fact, in this case, the angle is much more acute, which may be perfect for whatever you are building. This was just the first video in my new tutorial series on building techniques. In the next video, I will be focusing on SNOT techniques, or studs not on the top. So please consider subscribing if you don't want to miss out on all of the content in the making. And see you in the next one.